I'm currently on my way to the meeting. The red shirt meeting. The meeting I actually know I'm supposed to go to. This will technically be my third clopin in a row. If you're not familiar with the term clopin, it's when you close a shift and then open a shift the following morning. This would be the opening shift of my third clopin in a row, technically. Thankfully, there are people who have been there since 6, allegedly. Like, setting up everything. So we barely have to get any prep done. We just have to go there, meet all the new people, have the new people meet me and all the other old people, and just learn different things that I already know, but it's always good to have a refresher. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go home, and if my roommate is actually working his new job, I am going to be streaming Fear. So that's gonna be fun. So yep, let's go see how I feel after this meeting is over. The meeting was actually pretty fun. First off, we went through a bunch of policies that bored everybody to death. Basically, you should do this, or you shouldn't do that, or you should come in on time, but you shouldn't call off when you don't really need to call off. And then we went into different groups, and each group was learning about different parts of the store. First group went with the GM to talk about the line in the lobby. Second group went to talk about the person who will soon become the GM. About just stuff that happens on the line. And then the third group started talking with Slick Vic and 21 Average, of all people, talking about the back of house and Fry Station. And then we went to play some team building games, which were timed. We relied on teamwork, obviously. Neither of which are my strong suits, of course, but I feel like I did pretty well. We didn't win, but we still went pretty fast. I think the last game was what killed me. We had to do 3 different games where we were timed for each one of them. First one, it was basically that minute to win it challenge where you put pencils on the back of your hand and then catch them. Each team had a group of 4. First person had to catch 1 pencil, second had to do 2, and so on. And if one person dropped them, you would have to start the whole process over again. Second game, we all had to use chopsticks to get Smarties out of a styrofoam cup. I don't know how that's teamwork, but that's cool. And the last game that we did was ultimately the one that kind of cost my team the win, only because it took so long. But to be fair, it is kind of confusing with 4 people going at the same time. You're given a pre-shuffled deck, and then you're supposed to flip all the cards over so they're face up, and then sort all of the cards by suit, and then stack all those suits ace to king. Ace on the bottom, king to the top, everything in order. Sounds simple if it's just you. But we're dealing with a group of 4 who are constantly trying to grab their own cards, so there's hands everywhere. Nobody can focus on anything. And it also didn't help that one of the people who were stacking up suit, the plan that we had was each person was going to have their individual suit and just sort their own suit. It doesn't help that the person who ended up getting spades somehow thought that 8 came in between 5 and 6. And I know he thought that because his excuse was, I'm bad with numbers. I'm terrible at math. At least I know how to count, you know? At the end of the meeting, it was just basically a roundup speech from the GM. And I know that I'm sleeping earlier than normal today. Because, like I said earlier today, I just finished working 3 clopens technically. And at the end of all this, she was giving her speech. I was literally falling asleep. I wasn't even trying to. Like, she wasn't even being boring or anything. I was just tired. I was falling asleep in front of the GM while she was giving her speech. Thankfully, she didn't care. She knows I work 2 jobs. Well, I mean, I kind of would hope that she knows I work 2 jobs, but anyway. So she was cool about it. And yeah, we went by pretty smoothly. Now, I am off back home. See if I can stream. And if not, I'm just gonna edit some more vlogs. So let's see which it is. I'm gonna be editing vlogs later on today anyway, so don't worry. I'm getting stuff out for you guys. It's freaking... I am not going to Castles and Coasters for quite a while, if this is what it's gonna do to me. Right, anyway, let's go home. So I did stream, but funny thing, I didn't stream Fear. Why? The disc doesn't work. I'm gonna have to return that. But instead, I went ahead and played Condemned for the first time, and it's a really fun game. I'll admit it got me a couple times, but that was only because people kept on hitting me from behind when I wasn't looking where I was going. But other than that, it's a good game. The only problem is I had to stop like after the 2nd chapter, only because I am that tired. There are literally times where I'm falling asleep, like in the middle of stuff, so I have to stop. I just play like a bunch of Rock Band just to keep myself awake until I'm actually supposed to go to sleep. And in about a couple hours, I'm gonna have to go to sleep so that I can work on an opening shift because somebody decided to steal tips out of the tip jar and is gonna get fired. Of frickin' course. Can there be one day when I can actually, like, live my life without work? Just for one day. Just for one day. Without work and having to worry about random stuff? That's what I want to know. And that's what I want. This is what I'm like when I'm tired beyond belief. Just complaining about random stuff. So I think that's my cue to stop. And my throat's all messed up, so. Thank you guys for watching. I won't complain in the next video, I promise. That's not a good promise to make, but I'm making it anyway. Have a good one. I'm terrible at math. At least I know how to count.